The Dodgers continue to create reasons for Max Muncy's power loss. LeBron James gets more long-winded than I am to tell us how long he'll be sidelined. And the Chargers claim once again they have all the receivers they need. Are you sure? Hi, I'm James, and this is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the Faithful Angelenos Morning Report. It's May 9th, 2025. By the time you see this clip, I'm going to be on a plane heading back home for work, and I totally can't wait. But do you like being in the know about LA sports? Well, if you do, click the like button. Click the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It lets you know when we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist, and by all means comment. Now, before we go through the news and notes, a very quick look at the scoreboard. Arizona 5, Dodgers 3. Meanwhile, today, the Dodgers will still be at Arizona at 6:40, and Utah is in town. They will play Angel City FC at 7:30. What do you say we get to the news? So a week ago, we congratulated Max Muncy on hitting his first home run of the season, and it was sincere. Sure, he went over 100 at-bats before finally knocking one over the wall, but man, did we mean it. Because, after all, he has 4 seasons with at least 35 home runs. Bruh, at some point you got to pick up the pace. I mean, for Pete's sake, did you see the lineup last night? 3 guys playing for the Dodgers were hitting below 200, and Muncy was one of them. Now, the credit for that home run, they were talking about these prescription glasses. Oh, Muncy has astigmatism, that's it. Glasses will do the trick. But since he hasn't hit another one since, the coaches are now like, maybe it's his posture? You know, like a chick wearing her first pair of stilettos? Said hitting coach Aaron Bates, quote, he gets out on his front side pretty quickly. Part of the challenge for him is when he needs to start his leg kick and how to maintain balance as he's striding forward. Because he throws with his right hand and hits lefty, the right side of his body kind of dominates his swing moving toward the pitcher, which is pretty common for a lot of guys. A lot of times when you have a lefty-righty combo guy, they get kind of pulled that way. So that's something he has to constantly battle, and he has his whole career. When he's out of whack, he's got to work to get it right, unquote. Extremely long quote. Can we just cut to the chase? I'm not sure I buy it. I'm not. Because then they gave the standard rap about how it's only a matter of time before Muncy can hit tape measure home runs in his stilettos. So, hope springs eternal. Sometimes the Dodgers, they get a little bit too caught up in the minutia. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Speaking of minutia, LeBron James went on a podcast I don't listen to and gave even a longer quote with pointless details about the medial collateral ligament sprain in his knee that happened when the Lakers were eliminated by Minnesota. And it's such a long quote. This must be the day of long quotes for LA sports figures. Stick with me. In my 22-year career, this is my first knee injury. I've had the regular tendonitis and patella and all that stuff, but this is the first time I've ever had like a sustained knee injury where it's like, okay, you got to get off your feet. You got to be shelled for a minute. I felt it right away. My knee locked up, and that's when I kind of stayed on the ground for a minute. I'm cutting this quote, man. This is way too long. I don't know why we have to go into all this. I can tell, by the way, this is not fascinating stuff. I think obviously when I was running back to close out and he collided into me, my knee bent inward, and that's when the injury that I had. 4 to 6 weeks, the doctors told me. It took him about 90 seconds to tell us all he's going to be out for about a month and a half. Craziness. It's like the guy was invited to the Met Gala, right? Where you have all the glitterati and everybody's paying attention to you while you wear some ridiculous outfits. And I'm sure he had this story just locked and loaded in the chamber for everybody to talk about him instead of all the goofy wardrobe mistakes that were going on in New York. The upshot is this. He could have totally knocked it out in 5 seconds. Bruh, totally sucks. I'll be back in less than 2 months. And believe you me, I am super happy I decided to abandon ship on that long ass quote. I sometimes wonder if Charger fans still have nightmares over Justin Herbert trying to complete a pass to Quentin Johnston. Maybe Darius Davis? Just like the Chargers went out and they would get any former wide receiver from TCU. Like it's some sort of a factory for fingerless wide receivers. Do you know that Justin Herbert, it was just 2 years ago when people were arguing that he was a top 5 quarterback. Nobody says that now. Have you noticed? And frankly, it's not his fault. It's not like somebody severed his throwing arm and beat him with it until he got dementia. Moreover, the Bolts have more than $29 million in cap space. So maybe, just maybe, you'd think they would get somebody who would catch a football. But to hear Chargers general manager Joe Ortiz talk about things, there are no alarms with the passing game whatsoever. No need to upgrade the receiving room. Oh, they don't have hands? Nah, we have all the hands we need. More hands in there than a high-rise full of Hollywood casting couches. That's how many hands the Chargers have. So Ortiz then went back to his book of cliches and read this, quote, I think we're going to see what we have out there this weekend and through OTAs, but I'd never say we're done adding anything. Any chance we can get, if we need the help, if we can improve the team and the competitiveness of the team and competition at the position. Man, the cliches were flowing like wine. And then, of course, the scribe asked him about bringing back Keenan Allen, and Ortiz is like, oh, my Uber's here, gotta go. So to be fair, the Bolts receiving room is not as bad as it was last year. They added a receiver in the second round, Trey Harris of Ole Miss. And that means they have maybe 2 guys who can catch a thrown football, which is nice. Because last year's receiving core was ranked by multiple media outlets as the 31st in a 32-team league. You would think a former quarterback in Jim Harbaugh would not want any quarterback on a team he coaches to commit career suicide by throwing to people like that. And yet that's what the Chargers did. Meanwhile, with USC basketball, Elijah Arenas apparently has a sense of humor that no coma can eradicate. Gilbert Arenas, his father, an NBA legend, said his son was placed in a medically induced coma at UCLA Medical Center after the car crash a couple of weeks ago. And when Elijah came out of the coma, became alert and oriented, he looked around and said, "Tell Muss I'm sorry that I'm at UCLA." Now, is it the best joke? No. But even I can't say I'd have 20 minutes of grade A zingers firing out after I was in a medically induced coma. And besides, all things being equal, have you ever seen USC Medical Center? You'd be begging to be put into a coma until the ambulance heads over to Santa Monica. So, yeah, it's a joke. Count your blessings. Know which hospital is in the better neighborhood. Speaking of basketball, over at UCLA, in addition to having a hospital in a nicer neighborhood, the Bruins basketball program added to its roster forward Anthony Peoples, who used to play for North Carolina Central. He's coming in. He's probably going to be looked at as a reserve who could bang in the low post. He is the 6th new player to UCLA. The roster currently stands at 11. Switching over to football, Just a couple of notes to hopefully buoy the optimism of USC football fans who are probably panicking, expecting to get rug pulled from about 5,000 recruits from now until National Recruiting Day. We already know that the Trojans currently have the top recruiting class in the country for 2026. That's not the note. The notes are, one, they have 12 more recruits pledged than any other school in the nation. So even if they lose a few, it's not going to be catastrophic. Note number two, 15 of these pledges are from California, which is the highest number of in-state recruits since Steve Sarkisian back in 2015. And so my point is this. I understand why people have a problem with Lincoln Riley. I get it. But you also have to appreciate the fact that he is making the needed adjustments to the program. You wanted California recruits, you got California recruits. Also in college football, former UCLA quarterback Robert McDaniel, one of, I think, 4 quarterbacks who ran like hell out of Pasadena when Nico and Madden Iamaleava arrived. McDaniel has a new forever home over at San Jose State. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread, particularly about those long-ass quotes. Talk to me, for example, about Max Muncy and will he ever manage to hit a baseball over a fence again? For that matter, are you cool with LeBron James probably being ready for opening day next season? I know some of you guys are not big LeBron fans these days. And if you enjoyed the content, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We're talking LA sports every single day here. Thank you for watching. I'm James, and we'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Can Cortel Queso production. Take care.